All right, so all you gotta do is this simple 60-second brain exercise, and you will manifest what you want quicker and faster than you thought was possible. So welcome back and good morning. I'm gonna be giving you one of the easiest Neville Goddard techniques to rewrite the memories in your brain so you can attract what you want faster into your life. But first, take a deep breath in and out. Put a little smile on your face. It's a beautiful day. I came out just at sunrise, just for you. And let's dive into this. Big idea number one is to actually stop trying to change your world. So I understand this may sound kind of crazy. Maybe it sounds strange. Maybe it sounds like a paradox, because I'm about to give you a very simple brain exercise that will absolutely change your reality. But before you can actually do this, you need to actually stop trying to change your world. Manifestation is a paradox, but let me just explain it with one of the most powerful Neville Goddard teachings. Neville said, "Stop trying to change the world, since it's only a mirror. Man's attempt to change the world by force is as fruitless as breaking a mirror in the hope of changing his face." And I don't know about you if you ever looked in a mirror and accidentally broke it. I know from experience it doesn't help. But he goes on to say, leave the mirror and change the world. Change your conceptions of yourself. So why does he say that? Well, your brain is nothing more than an electronic switching station, which fluctuates between various energy levels, which alter and control your reality. Your brain is just a conduit of electromagnetic energy. And all of this is easily measured with EEG machines. You can track the electrical activity of your brain. You can do it with your heart as well. You can measure the frequency of different thoughts and emotions. Your conscious mind is the directed activity of that energy waves in our brain. So the brain is basically just a machine, like a computer screen, right? But the mind is the operating system that powers the computer. So if you're at my house and my computer's not working properly and I get that spinny wheel like my screen froze, what would you do if I just grabbed a wrench and I just started smashing the screen, right? I would be actually insane, because you don't change the screen, you go to the operating system. And it's the exact same thing. The subconscious mind pattern is the operating system that controls the electromagnetic machine, which is your brain. So before I dive into this technique, that's why big idea number one is so important. Stop trying to change your world by focusing on the events and circumstances. And when you do this instead, that's when you start to get what you want quicker, faster, and easier, and you realize you're a co-creator in reality instead of just a reactor. So in the book, Mind Sculpture, Your Brain's Untapped Potential, Ian Robertson has some pretty incredible scientific studies on your brain and how that's affecting your overall reality, whether it's money, health, whatever it is. And they found that when people are truly concentrated or focused, the brain circuits that are associated with time and space and the feelings, movements, and sensory perceptions of the body of reality, they literally quiet down. Those brain circuits, it's like the volume on a radio, they get turned down. So basically, science is now proving that with the right techniques, you can control your brain circuits that are associated with time, space, and the feelings, the sensory perception that controls your body and thus your reality. You can turn it down. And that's what I'm about to give you with this technique. Now, the crazy thing about that is not only does science prove you can turn those brain circuits down so you can step out of reality, but Neville Goddard says take your attention away from the problem and the multitude of reasons, all the circumstances, why you cannot achieve your worthy ideal. Concentrate your attention entirely upon the thing desired, the invisible state. Only when one is willing to give up his present limitations and identity can he become that which he desires. You have to give up the present circumstances. But the problem goes back to the 1890s. You know that Russian scientist, Ivan Pavlov, he did that thing with the dogs. So he showed that dogs and people could be conditioned to salivate at the sound of a bell, right? So he did it with dogs. They can salivate at the sound of a bell if they are presented with that stimuli of the bell at the same time they get food for a while. So in that, probably one of the most famous scientific studies ever, Pavlov gives the dogs food, they salivate, he sounds the bell just before he's giving them the food, but then he takes away the food, but if he sounds the bell, the dogs still salivate. So what he found is that external stimuli, the environment, actually builds an association in your brain where the outside world conditions your brain, your neurological reality, to be controlled by the limitations of the senses, right? And you're not doing it with bells and dog food, right? But you might be doing it with money, right? You might be doing it with when your boyfriend or girlfriend doesn't text you back and all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, they must be cheating on you, because you have a deep fear of it because your dad cheated on your mom and then it really screwed up a lot of your early childhood and it was crap, right? Same thing. I used to log into my mobile banking terrified, like legitimately terrified. And maybe that's you. Maybe you don't know if you overdraft, you don't even want to look, right? You're just like, I'm not even going to look at this, right? So just like the food and the bell, your mobile banking starts to control you. And that's what happened to me. Every time it would like trigger these soft panic attacks about my career not working out. And I associated money with fear. I associate it with anxiety, and I associated it with problems. It was a cue, a trigger that hit the most primal part of my fight or flight, like, come on, just survive state of being, which made me feel terrible about money, right? And so what I did instead is use this technique to change that association. So even if the money wasn't there, I was already in a reality where I was no longer subconsciously neurologically triggered by it. So I invite you to think of what one of those things are, and that's why I'm also so big on success hypnosis. I have a free success hypnosis. It's right there down below. It's jakeshypnosis.com. And if this is making sense, just take a deep breath and smile a little bit. Oh, well, that's why I'm doing that. I'm neurologically programmed, just like one of the most famous scientific studies ever. I'm environmentally triggered. I'm building an environmental association that's hardwired as a neurological reality. But when I become aware of it, I can stop, right? And we're gonna drop into that technique now, but I can just feel the sun coming up across the mountains. It's almost like I can feel this spirit of excellence, this divine spirit that's flowing through you and I, right? And you may feel it. See if you can notice it in your hands, right? This is you stepping out of the old mind. You're overriding the brain. You're overriding the mind. So if you can feel it, just take a deep breath, feel the energy in your hands, comment down below, I create my reality. I create my reality. And get ready, because this is the moment things are gonna start to change. So this is Neville Goddard's fast forward technique. And what this is gonna do is start to build a new neurological reality. You're gonna start retraining your brain. And this technique is ideal for speeding up your manifestation, speeding up your goals, speeding up the thing that you want, the person that you want. So you can stop worrying and, get on with the beautiful divine creation of life that God wants us to live these great lives. So now all you're gonna do in this technique is use your imagination to fast forward on the day in the future where your goal has been achieved. Now, I think it's important to have the imagery associated with it. So you know how like when you fast forward through a movie and it's like, right? Same thing. Remember at the beginning, they scientifically proved that you could turn the circuits down in your brain that are associated with space and time and sensory perception. You don't need to get big scientific experiments in order to do that. You have power over every cell of your body. Every cell, there's cell-to-cell transmission. Your consciousness has control in it. So tell it to quiet down. You're the master. It's not the master of you. You are the master of your brain, your mind, and your reality. And you're co-creating it with this beautiful universe, God, spirit, consciousness, whatever you want to call it. So you get control of it. You turn those circuits down, and then imagine that fast forward, right? This is you fast forwarding through space and time. In the quantum field, all realities and all future possibilities, they already exist. Energy is never created or destroyed. Science proves that. So all these possibilities exist. So imagine yourself fast forwarding to them, right? And you may do that, and it's like, and then you pop out somewhere. It's just like, boom, your consciousness pops out in a new space time, and enter that, whatever it is. It might be you entering, and then it's you stepping through a door. Holy crap, look at this beautiful house. Did I steal this? No, I own this? Wow, that's good. All right, cool. Look at that view from my house, right? And just enter it. You could do it, and then boom, you're in your Porsche with the top down and it's cold and you got the seat heaters on, and you're like, ooh, yeah, right? Whatever it is. It might be that you're walking on the beach with your soulmate. It might be you just sold your house. It might be you're shaking hands with a bank teller, with a customer, with a client. For me, it might be, whoa, holy crap, my YouTube channel just went viral. Hey, dude, did you see that? Right? And just make it real. Feel how grateful you feel. Hear your actual voice of excitement. You know when things are going really, really well in your life and you're kind of goofy, you just feel good, like you're really yourself, right? Like your personality is really there. Enter that and be there with that. You're driving in your dream car and you're with your mom and you're like, I told you, you should have trusted me, mom, right? Or you might be looking at your soulmate in the eyes and you're like, I knew it was gonna happen. Mike Tyson used to say his boxing coach, Cus D'Amato, most famous boxing coach in history, the first time they met, he looked Mike in the eye when Mike was 12 years old and he said, I summoned you. And Mike's like, what does that mean? No, I summoned you. What was he saying? He already had fast forward in the future that he was going to meet the youngest heavyweight boxing champion in the world and train him, and then he was going to set all these records. It's the same thing. So you fast forward into it. Once you feel your truest personality step in, like I felt it just walking through that, I felt a shift in my energy. Maybe you felt it listening and hearing and feeling this video. Same thing for you. Once you feel that completion, for money, for health, and you get there and you look at the doctor in the face, I told you I'd heal myself. I told you I didn't need to have surgery. I told you I'd be better. Right? And then you run out, like, but you're still running, and you're in that one, like the hospital gowns, and you forgot your pants, and and then they're like, wait, and so you go back and then you do it. I'm just joking, but my point is this: enter that type of playfulness of really being yourself. It's not mechanical, right? And it's not an image you're imagining. It's a real level in space-time that's just outside a third dimension. It's in the quantum field. And that's the fast forward technique. All you do to do it, deep breath in and out, deep breath in and out. And when you feel complete, you just say, thank you, thank you, thank you, universe. So you can comment that down below. Thank you, universe. Check out my free success hypnosis that you can pair with it. So you can listen to the success hypnosis. It's free. A lot of people don't even know that I have it. About 1.3 million people from all over the world have used it though. And every day I get these insane stories of people attracting miracles when they use it. So just listen to it and then do sets, like you're doing sets of push-ups. Do sets where you're imagining the fast forward technique over and over and over. And if you enjoy this video, smash the like button, subscribe, bell notification, Put a smile on your face. Remember, you're more powerful than you've been led to believe.